Hi there, I'm Alex Campbell, and my agent is Kirsty, the wonderful Kirsty at David Goldwyn Associates. And my publisher is Hotkey Books, who have published two books with me so far. One is Land, that came out last year, and the other, Cloud9, that's just recently been published. In terms of where I start in my writing process, I tend to start with an idea. It tends to kind of sort of a concept or an idea, usually in the form of a choice or a decision a character has to make. And pretty soon after that, a character starts to form that has to make that choice or decision or tackle that particular idea or concept. And I think that definitely comes first. So I kind of start with an idea, very often very small nugget of an idea, which is usually often a question: what would you do if, or what would happen if? And then from there, the setting and the story develops thereafter, or quite actually close together, but definitely the idea comes first. And in terms of how I write, I think my natural gut instinct is to always sort of write freely and just go for it. But I've learned I have to be mindful of putting time aside to plan. I'm not the best planner in life anyway, but I really come up against it sometimes if I haven't planned properly. So I tend to try and get a balance between writing freely, which I do need because I often find that my best ideas come from just writing, and also setting time to plan. So I don't do either at the start. I just start writing and then I'll stop, plan, start writing again, stop, plan, and so on. Research I love to do, but I tend to do that depending when the book's coming about. So I'll get a skeleton of a story first, probably, and then I'll sort of see where I need to research, kind of a deeper understanding of areas, and then the research will come along again in tandem with the writing. So I don't tend to do a sort of structured process. Um, Editing process, I actually really enjoy the editing process. I think because you've been in your little tower for so long, just scribbling away, you can sometimes get fixed on a way your story has to go. And I love the opportunity when somebody else comes along who is, wonderful at story making, starts to poke you and challenge you and ask questions, and that gets you to look at your characters and the story and the setting in a totally different, with fresh new eyes. So I really like that. I really like it. It's kind of like a therapy for your book, the editor, that you just ask lots of challenging questions that make you think in a different way. So I really appreciate that process. But I think the thing I feel I dislike about editing is it's very hard. I mean, when you're writing and just going with the story, it's wonderful and liberating. But with editing, you are going over the same ground over and over and over and over again, and then over and over again. And it is laborious, it is long hours, it's just incredibly hard. And I always see it as sort of being at the last leg of the mountain climb, at that point where you're exhausted and you feel that you've done it now and you can't go on anymore. And that's sort of the real work you have to put into the editing process. Often feels like that to me. But then saying that, I often think of the whole writing of a book like a mountain climb in terms of the way it can be fun and great and challenging, but hard slog too. But it actually helps me think of it like that.